Good morning. I'm still reporting on politics. We also talked to John Doe over a private connection. He talked about what led him to quit the Cruz campaign. He explained that it was over this very complex plan hatched by none other than Amanda Carpenter, a former Cruzer who had been hired by CNN. Carpenter rolled out the idea on or about January 15, 2016, 17 days before the Iowa Caucus. The plan was very successful. It was able to manipulate Carson out of delegates that should have voted for him and sent them mostly to Cruz. According to John Doe, the basic story is I have worked on Republican campaigns since I graduated from blank 24 years ago. Not once have I quit a campaign, even when I had disagreements with strategy, language, anything really. I had to quit the Cruz campaign after, in mid-January, I was flown from South Carolina to Iowa for the home stretch before the Iowa Caucus. Once in Iowa, I was instructed to make calls and monitor other volunteers making calls. Hundreds of calls a day, lying about Trump as well as Senator Rubio. I bit my tongue at first, knowing it was wrong. Then 2 weeks prior to the Iowa Caucus, myself and a few other Cruz top campaign aides were in a room and we received the results of our internal poll. Trump was leading, Cruz second, and Ben Carson third, with a shockingly high amount of support, meaning much more support than what CNN Fox had him at. The kicker was that a majority of Carson's supporters had Cruz as their second choice. At that time, the plan to tell people Ben Carson was dropping out of the race on caucus day was hatched, coordinated with former Cruz op Amanda Carpenter at CNN. Actually, this operation was her idea initially. I strongly opposed this, but they decided they were going to do it anyways, so I quit January 18th. My wife, Beth, responded, "Wow, not surprised at all. He always did seem slimy to us, and I have always said it was more like a cult. You mentioned that it seemed like Jonestown. In what way?" John Doe: just in the way that almost everyone knew the Ben Carson thing was coming. Everyone knew it was wrong, but no one said anything because Cruz has them all convinced he is some conservative god and anything he suggests is for the betterment of society. Beth Still: my husband wants to know if he can use this information and should he say from a reliable source or characterize it another way, or if not, we certainly understand. Yes, you can use the info, just don't want it getting back to me. I'm actually off to blank next week to start working as blank for another campaign. Call me a Cruz operative with 24 years of political experience. You can use the picture of my offer letter from the campaign, just blur out the name. And finally, we asked John Doe if there was anything to allegations in the National Enquirer about Cruz having mistresses. It's 100% true that he has affairs. All top-level staffers got an email directly from Heidi Cruz saying that she knew about it and it was okay and for us not to concern ourselves with it. I'm still reporting from Washington. Good day.